Now this section is going to look at how to configure static route. So for this configurations, we're going to select one of the topology. I'll pick up one routers in here, 2901, and I have other routers. Then I'll pick up a couple of switch, and then I'll pick up a couple of PC. After that, I'll do the connectivity. So I'll pick up this automatic cable, connect my PC to switch, switch to routers, PC to switch, then switch to routers. After that, router to router. Now we have this kind of connectivity. Now after that, this is my small topology I have set up. Now I'm going to allocate the subnet. So we know that router, each side will have separate subnet. So this side we put 10.1.1.0. I have the subnet for this link 10.1.1.0. On the left hand side, this side we're going to use subnet 192.168.10.0/24. And this side we're going to use 192.168.20.0/24. This subnet. So you have one subnet, two subnet, three subnet. And see the routers, each side we have different subnet. Router this side we have a different subnet. Now from this subnet, we're going to allocate IP addresses. At first, for my PC, I'm going to do 192.168.10.1/24. This is the mask. This gig 00 interface, I'll do 192.168.10.10. And this side 192.168.20.1. This side 192.168.20.10. And in here 10.1.1.1. And for this interface 10.1.1.2. See, router is layer 3 device. Router work with IP address. For each of the interface, we have IP address. So this is the IP address allocations we have done. Now after that, we do the IP address configurations. So this is my network topology. Now I'm going to do all the configurations. And switch is a layer 2 device. Switch will simply forward the frames. Switch will simply forward the frames. Now at first, I'm going to configure my router 1. So I'll go to router, CLI, and I say no. Then enable config T. After that, I can change the host name. I say host name R1. And first thing we need to configure interface IP address. So this side I can see this is my gig 00 interface. So I'll say interface gig 0/0. Okay, and hit enter. Then I'm in interface mode. I'm going to configure IP address. IP address 192.168.10.10. mask 255.255.255.0 and say no shut. Now, next thing I'm going to configure this IP address. I'll say interface gig 0/1 IP address 10.1.1.1, and this is /24 network. So my mask will be 255.255.255.0, and then say no shard. Now after that, I'll move to second routers. I'll click on these routers, go to CLI, and then I'll do exactly same configurations. I'll say no enable config T. So in this way, I'm in configuration mode. Now I'll do the same configurations. This interface I'm going to configure, and this interface I'm going to configure. So at first, interface gig 0/1. So when you configure any IP address, always ensure you're configuring the right interface with right IP address. So my IP for this one is 10.1.1.2, 255.255.255.0, and say no shutdown. After that, we're going to configure this interface. So I'll say interface gig 0/0 IP address 192.168.20.0, sorry, 20.10, and then 255.255.255.0, and say no shard. So when you say no shard, all the port is up. This one is still in negotiating, but you can see this interface, this interface, this interface, all of the interface is now up, and they have the IP configurations over there. Now, for this interface, PC0, this is our PC, and this PC we need to configure IP address as well. So I'll open this PC, desktop, IP configurations. I'm going to assign IP address 192.168.10.1 and mask. And for this PC, default gateway will be router internal IP address. For this PC, when it's going out, so you need to go via this IP address. So this IP address will be gateway for this PC. So gateway will be 192.168.10.10. So gateway is important. If we configure the gateway, then this PC will be able to communicate, or this PC will be able to go out from these routers. After that, I'll go to this PC, desktop, IP configurations. IP address is 192.168.20.1, right? We verify, yes, 20.1. Mask is mask already, it's picked up the class C mask. And for this PC, gateway will be, so now for this PC, we have the default gateway. For this PC, we have the IP address subnet mask and also default gateway. Now, if I go to this PC, open command prompt, and if I'd like to check the connectivity from my PC to routers, I'll do ping 192.168.10.10. So I can ping. So that means I have the connections. I have the network communications in here. So that's fantastic. That's what we want. So let's say if you configure IP address incorrectly, or then you'll have a problem. Then if it doesn't ping, then we need to verify. Part of the verifications, if we go to routers, a few different ways we can verify the routers configurations. One is if we do show run. If we do show run command, we can go down, 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 or we can check in this way. We can check what IP address we configured whether correct interface, we have correct IP address or not. We can check the interface and also the IP address. That's one way we can check. We have some other commands such as show IP interface brief. This command also important. In this way, we can see the interface informations briefly. So you can see my gigabit Ethernet 00. I have this IP address and IP address is up. This interface, I have the correct IP and is up. And some other interface we have that is administratively down. But we are not using that one, so we don't have to do anything with that. But we need to ensure that our interface is up. Now, after that, in routers, we can check the routing informations. How to check the routing informations? We can do show IP route and hit enter. If we do show IP route, then we can see connected route. So this 10 network and this 192 network, they are directly connected with our routers. So router knows about these two subnet as connected routes. Right? When you do show IP route command, you can see all the abbreviations like local, connected, static, capital R for RIP, M for mobile, and so on. So it's got all the abbreviations. So C means connected, L means local. So it's connected subnet, and this is the local IP address. That's what it's saying. Now, it knows only the connected subnet at the moment. So that means connected IP address, they will work with each other. But if we'd like to ping something in this network, our router don't have any routing. So if I go to this PC and try to ping something on the other side, like 192.168.20.1, it will not work because we do not have any routing over there. But if we ping this IP, we can ping because this is in the same subnet. And if we'd like to ping this IP and see what happened, it's working because this IP address knows by this router because it's connected. That's why. But other IP, this is not connected. So if I try to ping that one, then it will not work. So that means something is connected, a router understands that IP address. So router can send the traffic or packets over there. But if something router don't know, router cannot send any packets over there. So this scenario, we can configure the routing. So at first you get to configure, let's say, default route or default static route and see how it functions. So I'll go to routers. At first, we say config T IP route. So if you know the destinations network, then simply you can configure static route. In our scenario, we know the destinations network because from this router, we'd like to go over there. So we know the destinations network, so we can configure static route. So this is our destination subnet and mask and next hop IP address. You can put your outgoing interface or next hop IP. In our case, next hop IP is 10.1.1.2. So I'll put 10.1.1.2. So that's how from these routers we can configure the static route. In this way, we'll be able to send the packet all the way there. or this subnet, whatever in this subnet, we'll be able to send the traffic over there. Now from router 2 point of view, this one need to send back the traffic to that side as well. So these routers we need to configure as well. Then both way communications will happen. So let's have a look how to configure this router 2. So we'll do exactly same configurations. We say enable config T, host name R2. That's how we change the router name. Then this one, let's check whether IP address configuration. So we'll exit from here. We say show IP interface brief. Yes, we got our IP address configurations here and they're correct. Now we go to this router and say config T, IP route, our destination subnet, in this case 192.168.10.0, and mask 255.255.255.0. So this is the destination subnet mask, and my next hop IP address will be 10.1.1. So that means this router will send the traffic to that subnet via this IP address. That's what we have said it here. So after configuring this, if we exit from here and say show IP route, then show IP route command will show us the routing informations, make it a bit better. Yeah. Now see, it's saying that this is our router 2, and we can see that we have now S. S means static route. Now we have the static route. So your router knows about this subnet and it can send the traffic via this interface. So also if we go to router 1, exit, show IP route and hit enter. So it has the static route. Now it can send the traffic 192.168.20.0/24 via that subnet. So that means now we can see that our router has routing to that particular subnet. Now if we'd like to ping from this PC to that PC, we'll be able to ping. So I'll go to my PC command prompt. If I'd like to ping that 10.1.1.2, which is this one, I'll be able to ping. See, it's working now. If I'd like to ping the other IP 192.168.20.1, this is this IP address on the other side. So this one will work as well. See, it's working now. So that's how routing functions. That's how we can configure the static route. And in this way, we can send the traffic from all the way from these routers to that routers and to that destinations. So routers, each interface, we have a separate broadcast domain, and when you configure the routing, then you can send the traffic to different broadcast domain.